Well, guys, let's start. I will be giving 5 minutes every day for everyone to join. Okay. So, good afternoon. My name is Laura Libretti. I will be your instructor for this training. Uh, I've been working on inConcert for more than 8 years, and we will be reviewing some topics for you to understand, to know, and to know how to work with the platform. Okay, I see we are 9 people. Maybe tomorrow we are more. Maybe some of them will join later. I here know Mohammed. I know Anwar by email. Nice to meet you, Anwar. Let's first review the topics that we were going to see on this training, and then we will start with OCC Module 1. Okay, so every day we have a 2 hours meeting starting on today to review this training plan. Okay, so the first topic we're going to see is OCC. Okay, the module one, it's OCC demo, is for you to know our platform, Omnichannel Contact Center. That's what OCC is for. Its main functionalities and an overview of the product. Okay, we will be reviewing these topics. Okay, module two is OCC architecture. We will know how OCC works, how many servers are on the architecture, how will be the sizing, how to know what type of architecture we're going to install depending on which project. We're going to talk about the builds, okay, the patches, maybe some install troubleshooting on how to do a troubleshooting, okay. How is a version update of the platform, okay. On module 3 we will see the provisioning, okay. We will know what's a VCC, okay, and how to configure all the stuff we need to do on a VCC to work. Okay, we will be reviewing the general settings of VCC. Okay, module 4 is for campaigns. Okay, the objective of this course is that the participant is able to implement any campaign in OCC. Okay, for example, a telephony campaign, a chat campaign, a mail campaign. These are the most frequent types of campaign that you will see. But you can also create campaigns for SMS, WhatsApp, social networks, web contact, App Store, Google Play, and video call. Okay. We will be also reviewing the general settings of the campaigns, the definitions of every part of the configuration of a campaign. Okay. Also, we will talk about the troubleshooting of a campaign, customization, for example. Maybe our client needs to integrate something special and we need to do something special on the campaign. We will be reviewing how we can achieve that. And then we're going to move to section T or topic 2, that it's about IVRs and bot. This is implementation. We can assign IVRs and bots to our campaigns. Okay, so basically an IVR, I think you know, it's interactive voice response, like a machine that navigates through telephony. And bots, we will call bots the same, but ITRs, interactive text response. It's the same as an IVR, but in text channels, WhatsApp, web chat, and so. Okay, so in module 1, we will be reviewing IVRs, okay, and in module 2, we will be reviewing bots, how to implement IVRs and bots on inConcert, okay. Topic 3 will be web designer, web chat designer, and service. So the other tool that we have on inConcert allows you to design several things like CTI contact forms, web chats, and also here we will be designing the servers, for example, my chat channel, my WhatsApp channel, my mail channel, and so. Okay, so with this designer, we'll be reviewing the how to implement all the look and feel of the form of the web chat and the service. Okay, and that is everything for this first step. We'll be adding maybe two other topics later on, such as um, training and natural language understanding for implementing, for example, cognitive bots that is not like programmed to a specific response or text, and we can implement chatbots with artificial intelligence. Okay, so we will be adding those topics later, and the other topic that we will be adding is section for support. Okay, support for you to know when to detect a problem with a campaign, and how to detect problems on the agent. Okay, you have any question until now regarding the plan?
No, thank you, Laura.
Okay, great. So I will be starting today with module 1 OCC demo. Okay, thinking maybe that you don't know OCC, I will be starting as you haven't seen it yet. Uh, let's start talking about what's inConcert and inConcert products. Okay, so inConcert has several products. inConcert is a software company, and we have many products. Yes, but omnichannel contact center is the main product that we sell, that we use, and omnichannel contact center is a platform for contact centers, an omnichannel contact center suite. Okay, so basically what it does is combine every channel that you want to configure for your customer or for yourself, and unify all of those channels in a one single suite. Okay, inConcert Omnichannel Contact Center, let's for now say name it OCC. Every time I say OCC is Omnichannel Contact Center. It also can integrate with all these uh, products. Okay, for example, workforce management is an add-on that we can link to our OCC for manage all my human resource. Okay, for example, quality allows me to qualify every interaction that it's made on the contact center, on the suite. Uh, Typically, we have forms like maybe an evaluation for our agent, uh, to give him points for maybe doing okay the welcome part, uh, resolving the issue, and we can evaluate our agents with this type of tool. Okay, speech analytics, it's another part of inConcert that we can do to analyze recordings, chats, and so the omnichannel bot. It's what I just told you. We can implement bots that understands natural language. Okay, marketing and sales is another product, a very common product for all the marketings and leads administration. Help desk is our ticketing tool, uh, very similar to Zendesk or uh, Jira. Okay, CRM is all the features for contact management, and collections is another uh, product for specifically uh, those types of operation that we need to collect money for from our clients. Okay, so we will be focusing on omnichannel contact center. Okay,
Okay.
So first I want you to see how OCC looks like. Okay, I will be reviewing the main features of OCC, but first I would like you to see how our suite looks. Okay, so inConcert is something like this. Okay, we have a link. I will be connecting to a test environment. This is a demo environment. And basically, Omnichannel has a unified screen for the agent. We have here some tabs. This is the interaction tab. I will be uh, I will be looking here on my channels, my campaigns. I can see some interactions in queue. And basically, this is the look and feel of inConcert. This is a full agent. Okay, we have many types of roles. For example, I can log in with another one, with another user that has maybe different permissions than the other one that I joined. Okay, I will be changing 1 minute to English. The user that I just logged in, I will be putting in English, okay, for you to understand. And we will be reviewing the look and feel, okay? Great. Yes. Okay, so this is an overview, okay? An overview of the GUI, of the web interface. Here in interaction, I have all the permissions that usually an agent has, okay? An agent can see all the interactions in a single inbox. Okay, he can see here what type of interaction is, for example, a WhatsApp, a Google Play, a Twitter, an Instagram, a Facebook, a mail. Do you see here a YouTube, and direct an inbox for Instagram? On the left, I can see my waiting conversations. We will be later reviewing what is waiting and what is queue. I can see here my active interactions. This means that I'm currently attending this interaction. Okay. I can see here my live, my appointments, and my archive. My archive is the interaction that I already finished. Okay. On the left, I can see my campaigns. I can see here the contacts that were created, and I can see my team. Maybe my team is another supervisor, another agent. I think for now, no one is connected. Everything is in gray, okay? Here I can see the channels, okay? Channels that are active, for example, and channels that are active, and I can create a new conversation. Yes, for example, I can create a chat. Chat is enabled, but I cannot create a chat because chat is an inbound channel, okay? This user has uh, all the permissions. I can see interaction, but also can see configuration. Configuration will be the administration of the platform. Okay. Supervisor will be how to monitor all my campaigns. This will be the view, for example, for a specific supervisor. Okay. Reports are all the reports, the 4 reports from the platform. I can here execute reports that are already built. We have Summarize reports, we have detailed reports. How do I know if it's a summarize or a detail? Here I can see this summarize icon, okay, and here I can see the detail icon. It's the same if I do this. I can see here the summarize icon and here the detail icon. Social networks and batch management are other tools. For example, batch management is where I can send massive SMS, massive emails, and massive WhatsApps. And this application launcher lets me configure a web form for doing some specific stuff. This is a form, this is an example, okay? This PCC is integrated with help desk. I'm not going to to talk about this right now. We can take a tour on this tool later, okay? So let's review the main features of OCC. The general characteristics for all channels. This is an omni-channel distribution. Okay, message distribution like circular, skill-based, workload balancing, work queues, and service levels. This means that I can configure any campaign to work specifically in a way, and we can configure inConcert to assign, for example, act automatically or skill-based or manually from the queue. Okay, unified omnichannel queue management means that, as I was showing you, I can see all my queue interactions here, no matter the campaign and no matter the channel. Okay. On supervision, I have real-time monitor panel, graphs, and indicators. Coaching functionality, we'll be reviewing that on our class. Monitoring of contacts on hold and assigned to operations. I can see the queue, the waiting queue, the actual interaction that my agent has right now. Okay. I can chat between my supervisor and operators. I can send broadcast messages and notice to operations. For example, if I am in a campaign, a telesales campaign, and I want to uh, communicate all my agents something, a new promotion and some news, I can broadcast a message to all of them. And we can configure alarms. We have alarms configuration. Okay. On reports, we have a report package with detailed information and statistics. We can schedule reports by email or FTP or SFTP. This means that I can configure any report that I have here to be automatically sent to my email or to an FTP or SFTP. Okay. I can export reports to CSV and PDF, and I have a report designer. Maybe one of these reports it's too long to complete, and I have a requirement for my client, and we need something special. We can have this report designer to set up new reports. Okay. On security, this is an SSL encryption. You will see here that I've connected with HTTPS. Okay. Credit card numbers are masked in history. For example, if I have a chat with a client and we were talking about a credit card, the agent can see it live. But a supervisor, if he sees the history, he won't see that card. Okay. This is a full web application. We have mobile support, and we can be cloud-based or on-premises implementation. Regarding integration, We can integrate with form web application to web forms and scripts to another databases, system, or businesses process. In administration, we have dates and hours for active and inactive campaign. We can manage how many current interactions a agent can have. For example, I can configure if an agent tops can manage one call, two chats, five web chats, and five emails. And so I can say to inConcert how many concurrent interactions can an agent have. Okay, I can set up automatic messages. We will be reviewing on each channel what those messages are. We can configure predefined messages. We will be calling those canned messages and autoresponders. We can label our conversations. We'll be reviewing all of this later. I can configure rules for message categorization. We can set up users, workgroups, and access permissions. We can create new permissions. We can achieve a unified files database. For example, files that we always use and maybe we send them to our clients. We can have all of those files already in inConcert to share them by email, by chat, and so. We have threshold configuration for many uh, items for the campaign, and we have service level configuration. Okay, so if we talk now about attention, we have an integrated work environment for omnichannel management, unified contact management for all channels, message management and control functions like take, transfer, finish, requeue, conference. We have automatic attention through an intelligent bot and transfer to an agent with context. We have disposition code. This is very important in contact center. We can say the reason why our client contact us. For example, support, sales, um, inquiry, and so. This is very important because this is a main feature of every contact channel tool. We can transfer messages to a campaign, to a different agent, or a different attention level. We'll be reviewing what attention level is. We have an omnichannel conversation history. If we activate the omnichannel feature and, for example, Tom reached us from chat and later I add Tom his telephone and he contacts me by telephone, we can see Tom's history and know that he reached us from chat and from telephone. Okay. We can search for conversation through using filters. We can use labels. We can comment and set private notes to our interactions. We can use canned messages in conversation, and we have multi-language spell checker. For example, this is very useful for chat, for email, to know that I'm writing good. Okay. We have ticket generation. By default in OCC, without using helpdesk, we can achieve a ticket generation for each interaction. Okay. We have the web designer, front-end application designer, and from the web designer, we can also set up ITRs, okay, and IVRs. Okay, self-management, we can set up IVRs with call and context transfer to the contact center. We can implement IVRs that doesn't need the call to be transferred to an agent. Maybe we have an integration for blocking our credit card and we don't need to speak to an agent for that. We can implement that with a web server to the bank. Okay. And we can set up virtual assistants and cognitive voice portals with call and context transfer to the contact center. Okay, we can use also artificial intelligence in our IVRs. Okay, so if we talk about particular characteristics of each channel, I can mention a few for each channel. For example, SMS. Support and configuration for multiple HTTP-based SMS carriers. For example, we can integrate with typical carriers for SMS like Twilio, Infobip, and so. Outgoing message to a list of contacts with variable and personalized text. We can send a broadcast of messages, okay? SMS attention from unified interface, custom number of concurrent interactions by agent, automatic messages, canned messages, spell checker and typing indicator by language, self-service application configuration, ITR, and bots with artificial intelligence to automate responses. Okay, also in WhatsApp, we have WhatsApp attention from unified interface, possibility of sending and receiving links, photos, videos, files, PDFs. We have audio message player. We can set an audio message just as we do it on our cell phone. We can custom number of concurrent interactions by agent. We can send outgoing message to a list with variable and personal text. We'll be talking later about what is HSM. Okay, we have the official integration with WhatsApp Business API. We also can configure in WhatsApp automatic messages, canned messages, spell checker, and typing indicator by language, self-service application configuration, but with artificial intelligence to automate responses and an online recording for audio message. I can send audio message and I can hear the audio messages. Okay. If you have any question, you feel free to interrupt me. Okay. On Facebook, we can manage multiple pages in one single account. We have automatic distribution of posts on the pages associated to those campaigns, comments to posts made by the campaign or the page, replies to comments, a private message associated to those pages. For example, here we were seeing this is a comment. I know it for the icon, okay? And if it's an inbox, for example, or a messenger, I can see, for example, do you see here the Instagram icon with the mail? That's, for example, an inbox, okay? So all of those are coming to inConcert. Visualization of images in posts and comments. This means that I can see images, photos on the interaction, add displays, emoticons, visual notification for attachment in private messages, visualization of nested messages, post comments, direct answers. We can achieve a like or an unlike on a conversation. For example, I think I here have this is a Twitter. It works also on Facebook. I can here set or put that I like the comment that the agent was reviewing. Here's the ticketing. If I enable this, here's the ticketing, and this is labels. This conversation is labeled, for example. Okay. Post on fan page, mark as unread a message or a comment in a conversation. Choose how to reply or receive a message, like as comment or as reply. Possibility to reopen a conversation already ended. Program posts and engagement indicators. I can program a post on my Facebook page. Okay. admin view for owner posts with editing forms, service level configuration per account, automatic messages for Messenger, canned messages, spell check, and typing indicator for language by language, self-service application configuration, and bots with artificial intelligence to automate the process. We can achieve all of this in Facebook and so much more. On Twitter, it's similar. We can have automatic distribution of received tweets, direct mentions, indirect mentions, direct messages. We can follow or unfollow users directly from inConcert. We can retweet a direct mention or retweet an indirect mention. We can auto follow before a mention of a user. We have visualization of nested messages on this type of messages, direct and indirect mentions, and direct messages. We can respond to received tweets, respond to direct mentions, respond to indirect mentions, reply to direct messages. We can generate a tweet broadcast, a mention, whether it's a contact or not, an indirect mention, a direct message to a follower. We have the ability to add a URL shortener. We can add view emoticons. We can view also the existing images in a tweet. This is what I was showing here, for example. We can use canned messages, spell check and typing indicator by language, self-service application configuration, bots with AI to automate responses. Okay. For example, in Instagram, we also can manage multiple accounts. We have automatic distribution of the received messages as mentioned, comment on posts, replies to comments, and direct messages. Okay, this is a direct messages is a new feature. For example, it's in our last build and was recently enabled by Facebook. Visualization of images and in posts and comments, add display emoticons, visualization of nested messages on posts and comments, give a like or a unlike to a message or a comment, choose how to reply a received message, replies as comment is very usual, possibility to reopen a conversation already ended, service level configuration per account, canned messages, and spell check and type it indicator by language. On YouTube, we can also manage multiple accounts. We can detect posted videos or live videos made on the accounts. We can automatically get comments on published videos or live comments. We can reply comments. We can view videos within the platform, and we can manage our videos from inConcert. We can delete, edit title, and set up the privacy. Okay. We have also the App Store and Google Play Store. You know this. When you go to your cell phone and you go to the App Store or Google Play Store, you can review an application. Those are the interaction that comes to inConcert. We can get from the list of reviews the user, the review, that's the opinion, and the qualification. For example, I don't know, Facebook's app, 5 stars. I use it every day, and my user is Laura. Okay, and we can reply those reviews. We can also have video call on inConcert. This is a very common thing on the last year due to the pandemic. Okay, and it's a full web RTC solution. Does not require any installation for the client on the client. It's a website. It has website integration. We can put the video call anywhere on the client's website. We can also have screen sharing, and we can do the sending of documents and file through, for example, a web chat. Okay, we can have a mix between the video call and the web chat. Web chat is also a very common channel. We can have custom login forms, pre-attention and post surveys. We can customize the chat windows. We can set the size, color, fonts, images, buttons, and positions. We can trigger, for example, the automatic showing of the chat. Maybe if I go to the website, I can set up to the chat be automatically shown to the client. We have configurable automatic messages for welcome and after hours, available agent and assigned agent name. We can have also a custom number of concurrent interactions by agents, integration with Google Analytics, contact browsing history. This is a interesting feature. I can set up on inConcert that I want to see the history that the user was having, to see the pages that he was visiting before going to the chat. We can also have canned messages, spell check and type indication by language, self-service application configuration, like an ITR, but with artificial intelligence to automate responses and after hours for form configuration. We can set up in WhatsApp, for example, that out of hours, we can send an email or something like that. Okay. On mail, this is another typically uh, configurable channel. We have service level threshold configurations, complete text editor, HTML editor, spell check by language, linking emails to the same conversation. We have the ability to mark a mail as spam. We can custom auto reply settings per campaign. We can print the conversation. We can export the email to PDF. We can copy and blank copy on an email. We can set up the number of concurrent interaction by agents. We have custom HTML signature and default font for emails, and we can attach files. We can reply all, forward the conversation that we are having. We can have HTML templates and also canned messages. On web forms is typically on a website, the section name as contact us when you leave your name, your last name, and a message. That's a web form. So we can have a custom design for that. We can choose how to respond. For example, a specific web form, I choose to respond this web form as an email, as a call, using another campaign, for example. Usually, web forms are responded by email. We have response rules configuration, form fields configuration, threshold configuration, and service level threshold configurations. Okay, so this these are the voice or telephony main features. Okay, for example, for voice, we have VoIP integration with PSTN and PBXs. We can integrate to other PBXs and directly to the PSTN. We can have remote agents. We now have with the pandemic a lot of remote agents in home office. Okay, we have audio and screen recording, and for inbound calls and outbound calls, we have the following features. For example, on inbound calls, I can have this call distribution abilities, circular, major low and low balancing. We can distribute calls also by business data or for specific any or for specific Dennis or priorities. For example, I can or I need to prioritize my VIP clients. I can do that. Client segmentation, for example. We can achieve all of that. We have callback, we have voicemail during the end of the waiting time. We can schedule calls for later. We can announce the position in the queue. We can announce the average time wait. We have also the ability to configure Q&A maker knowledge bases. And in outbound calls, I have automatic dialing, simultaneous dialing of multiple batch, custom actions such as cancel, recycle, pause, and resume contacts, prioritization of contacts, blacklist, multiple phone numbers for each contact, answering machine detection, dialing rules by type of phone number and time range, Q&A maker, knowledge bases, voice blaster, and integration with marketing campaigns. Okay, so those are the main features of inConcert. We still have so much more to be implemented. And I just wanted to talk something real quick. I don't know if you guys know. I don't know, for example, Mohammed, if you told the team, uh, we are reviewing a specific version of inConcert that it's the WebRTC version. Okay, inConcert has like two versions for OCC. For this particular training, we will be talking about the WebRTC version. That means we don't have an installation on the agent. We don't have, for example, by now, because we will be having that soon, the dialer integrated to the environment, to the platform. We also don't have some of these features yet, but it will be pretty soon. Okay, because this version is in developing. Okay, so I would like to talk about roles and licensing. Okay, so a role is a function that a user performs within the contact center. Depending on the role, the user will be associated with a specific group of permissions that will allow them to perform specific functions on the platform. Okay, OCC has three predefined roles: administrator, agent, and supervisor. Okay, I can see that here. When I create a user, here on permission, I have agent, for example, administrator, and supervisor. The administrator role has permission to the following modules. This is by default, right? Administration, interaction, reports, and supervision. The agent role has permission to the following modules: interactions or interaction. Okay, we're talking about this: interaction, configuration, supervisor. The supervisor has the following modules by default: interaction, reports, and supervision. But on inConcert, we can define new roles, combining privilege from each of the existing roles, achieving the level of access needed. For example, here I am a full user. I created a specific permission named full or full2 that has all the permission that I want to activate. Okay, so I can set up new permissions. Okay, so roles are the roles that I can create, or the roles that I already have. And how the licensing works: we license the amount of users that you will be connecting, no matter the role. Okay, so for example, if I enable 10 licenses on your environment, that means that I am allowing you to connect 10 users simultaneously. You can connect 2, 5, 8, but when you reach 10, you won't be able to connect any other user. Okay? Do we have questions for now? Maybe some.
No, Laura, from my side, I have no questions.
Great. If you have any question, you can chat me on the chat. Uh, I don't know if you can raise your hand in this platform. I think you can. Uh, please let me know. Okay. So we license by user. Okay. No matter the role, no matter if it's a new role, we assign uh, an amount of license, and that's the top users that you can connect. Okay. So we completed the module 1 demo. I just wanted to know, have you guys worked with inConcert yet? Have you seen? Have you worked? This question doesn't apply to to Kelsey because we will be working together like, I don't know, 5 6 years. But I want to know what's the knowledge on you guys. Have you connected to inConcert? Have you used the platform? Everything that I talk about, you already knew it. Sorry. I wanted to know if this is new for you guys. Well, I'll be guessing it's new then. Okay. So that's what we had planned for module 1. Okay, for you to know what's in concert, what are the main features, how in concert looks from here. Okay, and we can start module 2. Okay, so in module 2 we'll be reviewing the architecture, how in concert is installed, how it works, and what services we have. Okay, so let me see here. Okay, so with OCC, with i6 on WebRTC architecture, we have one server. Okay, we need at least one server. This server is in Linux distribution. We're currently using Ubuntu 18. Okay, and in this server we install all the services that inConcert needs. For example, we have Cassandra as a database engine. We have Redis to control all the services that inConcert developed. We have here the inConcert core. We will be reviewing what is inConcert core, what programs we have here, what services we have here. We have Nginx, and we have the proxies of each channels. Okay, so every request on inConcert will be trigger a, a specific rule on the Nginx to know if the interaction that is coming is a chat, is a WhatsApp, is a login from the agent, and so. Okay, this is the simple installation of inConcert WebRTC, OCC. Okay, but we can have variations. For example, we can grow and have two servers working as a cluster. We can have three servers, we can have 4, 5, and we can have a multi-node architecture depending, for example, for the sizing of the operation. Okay, it's clear that if we have more agents or more traffic, maybe one server will be short. Maybe we need to set up another server and have a multi-node architecture for two nodes and work as a cluster. Okay, so we have variations like 1, 2, 3 servers, 5 servers, and so. Okay, guys, if you have any questions, please interrupt
Okay,
me.
one question here, Laura, for the web users. So the web users are the users or the customers chatting with inConcert, or what do you mean about web users?
Web users will be all the users that log in to inConcert. Any type of users, an administrator, a supervisor, an agent, a whatever. Okay, world, I mean, for example, if I have an inbound WhatsApp, if I have an inbound web chat, and so. Okay, each channel we will be reviewing how inConcert works in maybe one or two slides. Okay, each channel has a proxy. For example, WhatsApp proxy, Facebook proxy, email proxy, and that proxy has uh, all the rules and knows how to process an interaction. Okay, OCC has always a domain. Okay, a domain such as, for example, this is the domain of this environment, college i6 inconcertcc.com. But when you install inConcert, inConcert has this main domain and also subdomains. Okay, for example, let me show you here on a notepad. Okay, this is the main domain, the in college I see inconcertcc.com. But when you install inConcert, you have subdomains such as WhatsApp dash and your main domain and web chat slash. Mm, so how this works? For example, when the client triggers a chat, the requests are going not to college i6 in concert cc but to web chat college i6 in concert cc. When requests are triggered, our nginx has rules, and depending on the domain that he's receiving, he connects to the proxy of that channels to begin the interaction. So the nginx has, I don't know if it's 10, 15. We can review the lists of domains later. But inConcert works with the rules on the of the nginx. The nginx is what is public. Okay, so for example, we send a request for web chat, the nginx knows that we are having a inbound chat. Or for example, if he's receiving a WhatsApp college request, he knows, because he's using this part and he has rules configured on the nginx, that he's having a request for WhatsApp. So basically, how we know or how Nginx knows which type of channel he's managing by these subdomains. Okay.
Okay, so there is a different server which is responsible for the channel integration that communicates with the inConcert server, which is OCC server. Is that correct?
Yeah, physically or virtually is just one server, but on the same server we have defined uh, all of these subdomains. For example, let me see if I can ping, for example.
So are the transaction, for example, if you are having a Facebook transaction like Facebook Messenger message, is it routed directly to the OCC server,
Yes,
or the proxy, the channel's proxy, then he routes it to the OCC server?
the request is coming to the Nginx, and the Nginx sets the rule to the proxy, to Facebook proxy. Let me show you something. Let me see if I can. The ping is not enabled by default, but what I want you to see is the IP that he resolves. Okay, for example, do you see that here's 38.132.207.71?
Yes.
If I ping Facebook, for example, or if I ping WhatsApp, do you see that it's the same IP?
Yes, it is the same IP address.
Yes, all of these subdomains are in our
So
service.
they are created and referenced, linked to your OCC server. For
Yes.
example, if I'm having on-prem solution, on-prem machine, which we had before, I had to create subdomains for
Yes.
this machine, for the
Yes.
external IP,
Yes, of course.
link it to it. But we managed some configurations because this machine also should see the internet because it's linked to your channel server, which is collecting all the social media channels
Mm-hmm.
and messages, then redirects it to our on-prem server. So in this scenario for the on-prem solution, is it applicable or the channels are directed or routed directly to our on-prem server?
Uh, yeah, that's a good question. For example, when you have WhatsApp, it works differently because WhatsApp works with a webhook server in our site. Maybe that's where your question is going, right?
Yes,
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 yes, yes,
exactly.
yes, yes. I'm connecting to our data center for you. I would like you to see the i6 server, okay? Yeah, because
Okay.
you're already using inConcert, right? The
Yes, yeah,
the CLS 22, right? This one. This one you're using, right? I don't have connection
yes.
from my laptop, but I'm going to connect to that server for you to understand how it works, okay?
Okay.
And that's a good question. I'm connecting to my Amazon Workspace. This is the VDI we use to connect to our data center. I'm going to restart it because it's blank. Okay. So let me show you how this works. Because yes, inConcert needs some subdomains. Okay. Yes. I will show you right away. Sorry, this guide is in Spanish, but uh, what I'm going to show you is not. Okay. So when we install inConcert, we set up a main domain, just like this, okay? And when we install, we configure all these domains, okay? i6.prueba.com is the main domain, okay? For example, Puller is the service that has the connection for the agent. Web chat, web content, chat one, web designer, blah, 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 blah. Some of these, for example, web chat, Puller, i6, web contact, chat one, all of this goes directly to our OCC server, okay? We
Okay.
have a specific case, for example, WhatsApp, that this is linked to your server. If you ping this domain, it does goes to your server, but the functionality of WhatsApp works differently. And I'm going to show you here an article that explains how it works. And why does WhatsApp works differently? Because when we did the integration with WhatsApp Business API, we work with providers and we set the provider to send all the notification to one single environment. That is our webhook. Okay, let me show you. I have here, I think this is the, no, this is not. Okay, this is our wiki. This is the article I was looking for. Okay, when we integrated InfoBeep, when we integrated Smooth, that is our label, when we integrated Wavy, the outbound message was directly from this i6 server to Smooch. We send from the i6 server through API to Smooch. Smooch is an integrator of WhatsApp, okay? But what happens with the incoming message? Okay, the incoming message, when we integrate it inConcert to a Smooch, for example, a Smooch sends the request always to a webhook that it's in our data center. Okay, when Smooch sends us the interaction, when you register an account here for WhatsApp, when you trigger the save button launches a request to our webhook and links your cell phone for WhatsApp to your server. Okay. Here we have
Okay.
a registration. For example, the number 555555 is for Raja. Okay. So when we save an account on a Smooch, we know that if Smooch sends us a request, for example, for a new message for your number, we connect the webhook and we resend, or we redirect that request to your server. Okay, so the subdomain of WhatsApp, it does a point, or it's configured on your i6 server with the OCC server. What happens is that in that type of integration, we didn't connect directly Smooch to your server. We always pass through our webhook.
Okay, so all business WhatsApp accounts are created through Smooch and integrated to your webhook server. Then your webhook server redirects the conversation to i6 server.
Correct. And we
Okay,
did
okay.
that to simplify. We did that to simplify the creation of the campaign here, because imagine we if we connect this, we will need to configure always here, and you won't be able to, for example, configure a WhatsApp on your own. You will always need assistance from inConcert, right? So that's why we did it. Every time
Okay.
every time that you configure a WhatsApp here, it triggers two things: the registration of the account on our webhook and the registration for the account on Smooch. But we always send the same information of the webhook to Smooch, because this can change. Maybe today you want to be college I6 inConcert CC, but tomorrow you want to change this to another thing. Maybe today you like CLS 22 ITX, but tomorrow you want to be called, I don't know, dubai.i6.inconcert.com, Egypt i6inconcertcc.com, or wherever. Okay, so that's why, for example, the WhatsApp channel works like that, and that's why uh, you had to enable maybe on your firewall the connection from the uh,
From Hawk
webhook,
server.
for the webhook. That's why.
Okay. I guess all other channels work directly to the i6
Yes,
server.
yes. For example, the main subdomain that we use is web chat and chat. And why do we have web chat? Sorry, why do we have web chat, chat, and chat one? Because when we have more nodes, I can have accounts in chat one and chat two. So if I have two, let's see an example. If I have two i6 servers in my architecture, I will have web chat, chat one, and chat two. Web chat is the domain that is published to in the snippet of the chat. Okay, when I have a request for a chat, for example, a chat account and a chat account can be, I will say, can live in the server one or server two for balancing the traffic. Okay, so web chat, what it does is resolves whether to set the chat to chat one or chat two. And
So it's like a load balancer between
correct,
servers.
correct, correct. That's it. And that's why, let me show you here. Let me see if I have a chat here. For example, that's why when we have the configuration of a chat, the snippet that this is what you put on your website has web chat here. It doesn't have chat one, chat two, chat. It has web chat, because web chat will resolve to which subdomain he will send the interaction. Okay, I am connecting here to, I will connect here to your i6 for one that we have on the cloud. Okay, CLS 22 ITX, and I will show you. It will be very interesting. I will show you the Nginx site configuration for you to see all the rules that we have there. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. For example, the puller goes directly. The i6 goes directly. For example, let me show you, because we can achieve more security with this. Let me remind me what's the. For example, Okay, let's see this. This is going to a 213.192.255.63. Okay, but let me show you this. I will ping web chat, for example. Oops, no, I put a point instead of a dash. Do you see this? The web chat is going to Amazon. It's going to Amazon. And why? Our infrastructure team uh, advise us, or they configure a WAF. This is a WAF on Amazon, but what this WAF does is uh, this domain is going to Amazon and it's filtering maybe uh, attacks. A WAF is like a proxy or a firewall
The
for
security.
for domain. And to enable more security, uh, our infrastructure team set this web chat to a WAF, and the WAF then goes to this IP.
Okay.
We can,
So you direct the channel, you direct the chat to the WAF,
yes,
then it redirects the conversation to one of servers if there are multiple nodes.
yes. Why? Because maybe web chat is a domain that is vulnerable to attacks, and that's why we put a WAF first, right?
Yes.
We can achieve, uh, or modify stuff like that. We have also clients on premise clients that put a proxy reverse for all the domains. For example, they put a proxy reverse on the DMC zone, right? And then that
Yes.
proxy resends the requests to the i6 server that is not published. We can achieve some other stuff. We can modify, but as longer as we have the request in our i6 server, will be okay, right?
Okay, great. So what about the voice traffic? So I guess, for example, if we're having our voice traffic transferred through SIP trunk and how it goes and the routing till it's received by the agent.
Yes. Let me show you something first. I'll get there in a minute, because I want to connect to your i6 server, okay? For
Okay.
example, on this environment, CLS22 ITX mat, we have two nodes of i6, just for you to know, for curiosity. I am connecting. I paused the screen sharing because I'm reviewing the passwords. Okay. Do you see the i6 here?
Yes, I see it.
Yeah, for example, we have on Nginx our i6 host conf. And here we have all for example, this is the main server, begin server definitions. Yeah, this is the server name CLS22. And we have here, for example, this is the main, so it's the longest one. Here we have, for example, the chat. And we have every server which how to work. This is chat. We have later the puller, right? For example, that request is going to the agent puller. This is a specific service on inConcert. The web chat, the web chat here, the web chat is going to the web chat service. And so here we have all uh, the rules for those requests to come here. And here we have configured all the domains that this server has. For example, you have here in this installation, you have two nodes, and that's why we have, for example, chat2 and call2. Okay, so you were asking how the telephony works on this case. I will show you right away. I have here a diagram, and I can show it to you. Wait. Doesn't want to show. Let's see here. Okay. Okay. With telephony, we have here the inConcert server, right? So the web agent triggers the request for login to ports 80 or 443, depending on which are you using. Some clients don't give us a certificate, and that's why we have port 80 also available here. Okay, and when you log in, the WebRTC triggers another request to port 8089 to our asterisk telephony proxy. So when an agent connects, sends the request to the 443, for example, and to the port 889. Okay, so if I do this, ping call 1.cls22 ixmat.i6 inconcertcc.com, that's going directly to our i6 server. Okay.
Okay.
One thing that is important also to have, we're going to see on the next module on the module 3 that on inConcert we can configure zip trunks directly from our inConcert server to our carriers. We can do that, okay? But we inConcert decided that each environment, for example, this is environment of this is the environment. This environment has two i6 nodes and a gateway. We decided to put all the clients trunk in a separate gateway. This is only for security purposes. Okay, so you will see here that we didn't configure the trunks for the clients directly on inConcert, but we put a separate gateway, and in that gateway we configure the trunks for the clients. And what we did is a trunk between our inConcert server and the gateway. Okay, and that's only, once again, and very important, for security reasons. We always on inConcert try to do our best for uh, not having any security breaches. Okay.
Okay, so all cloud versions have one gateway. If I want to have SIP-trunk connected to it, I have
Yes.
to connect the SIP-trunk to this gateway. Then the SIP-trunk connection from the gateway to the OCCU.
Yeah, remember all the trouble that we had, not trouble, but all the step in the configuration for the
Configuration,
Avaya,
yes.
and that's it. Yeah, that stuff, we leave the i6 server on a side. All the stuff, all that configuration, all that troubleshooting, we separate that and do it in a separate gateway. Okay, so if you see, let me connect 1 minute to this gateway. I'm going to pause the screen sharing. Okay, so if you see here, that's why, let me show you. I'm copying the passwords. That's why I stopped the screen sharing. Okay, so I will enable it right now. Okay, here I am connected to the gateway. Okay, and that's why if I do like show me the zip trunk that I have configured here, we have all the trunks that we have, and we have the trunks for i6. Okay, so from the gateway to the i6 we have these two, and for from sorry the from the i6, let me show you, CLS22 deployer system. From here I have, let me show you, that's why this is our i6 server. Here on trunks, AP trunks, I only have the gateway, right? This is my gateway. So in other words, what I have here on my cloud, on the cloud, on inConcert Cloud, we have this. We have the i6 server. Sorry, we have the i6 server here. Okay. We have our gateway here. We have our users here. Users. Okay. And what happened is that the users are going directly to i6, but the telephony i6 is going to the gateway, and in the gateway we have, for example, your Avaya 1,
SIP-trunk.
your Avaya 2, your Raja XXXS, all your clients. We only have configured here on the i6, on IP trunks, this trunk. And this will
Okay.
allow you, will allow us to have more security parameters. If someone attacks this, it won't attack this. Here we can touch here without modifying anything on i6. It gives us a lot of flexibility and increases our security uh, parameters. Okay, so this is how it's working on our cloud. Obviously, on premise we can have modifications, right? If you want to, you can connect here directly to each trunk if you want to. Okay, and you can remove this server. Okay, uh, obviously, if you can do that, if you can do this, it adds more flexibility on what you can do without us. Because if you have access to the web interface, when you configure a trunk, it's all creating dynamically, right? It gives you more flexibility, but well, we always have to make a decision on what we want to achieve, right? But you can also do this, and there is a specific configuration uh, that, for example, this will be working okay with SIP that is through internet, but we have special cases, like for example, if the trunk is coming from a VPN, right? So that's another reason why we decided to put a gateway, because it's much easier for us to configure the VPN to a gateway and work with a gateway that has a public IP and a private IP, right? And we know Asterisk works differently with NAT or without NAT, right?
Yes. Okay. So we only have on the i6 server is public SIP trunk without any special connection or special network configuration required.
No. We all what we need is to have the ports, right? For example, here you see here zip carrier. We have here. Let me put do a zoom here. Here you have the port 5060 and ports for the RTP traffic from 10,000 to 20,000, right? And the web agent triggers for the same UDP and for port 8089. Okay,
Okay.
great questions.
I'm good.
So we already talked the architecture. Okay, so we can have different architectures for each type of operation that we are going to have. Okay. For example, this environment is 2i6. I think the environment that you have on premise is 1i6, right? I think so.
Yes.
I think so. Yes. Okay. We are going to talk about here that thing, the some part of the things that we discussed. Okay. So here is a diagram on the i6 services. Okay, so basically the i6 server is installed on Ubuntu. Since we have here connected the i6, I will show you to make more dynamic the train. Okay, so this is, for example, an Ubuntu 18. Okay, why Ubuntu? Obviously, uh, we decided to go to Ubuntu for licensing purposes, right? We don't need a Windows licensing, and we always on inConcert try to have the latest version of Ubuntu formalized for working with inConcert. The latest is Ubuntu 18. We have environments installed, for example, in Debian Jessie. Jessie is Debian 8, okay? But since last year, everything that we are installing it's in Ubuntu 18. Obviously, our I&D team always wants to have this updated, so maybe next year uh, we'll be going to Ubuntu 20 and so, okay?
Okay.
We use
So about the
yes.
about the data centers and locations, also the hosting. What are the locations do you host your machines? Is it all in Spain or different sites?
We have data centers on Chile, on the US, on Spain, and if I'm not mistaken, we are planning to launch a data center in maybe Dubai or Arabia. I don't know, but I have news that we are looking for it.
Okay, great.
Yes, 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 yes. Obviously, if we have better connection to the i6 server, we will be having a greater functionality of the platform, right? Obviously. Okay. So
And all of them are hosted on
no,
Amazon hosting?
no. That's in our data center. We manage all of data centers. We have tried to work with Amazon, with Azure, but they don't work as well for our standards.
Okay,
We
great.
had trouble with Azure, for example. They were moving our servers without noticing us. It was a pretty big deal because our service is 24/7, right? And we cannot have that type of service level with them. It was pretty bad. So as our CEO says, I don't know how to say it in English. Let me translate it. It's a necessary evil. He says something like that. It's better for us to have our private data center, Mohammed.
Okay, understood.
So we have now Ubuntu 18. We're installing everything on Ubuntu 18. We have Cassandra as a database engine. Okay, why Cassandra? Facebook uses Cassandra. It's a database that can work in cluster by default. It's easy to configure a cluster. So if we start with an i6 server, with a single i6 server, and we need to add others, it's pretty easy to configure a cluster. And that's one of the main reasons our team, our ID team, uh, choose Cassandra as the database engine. Okay, it's pretty easy to configure a cluster. It's a, a database that works very well with a bunch of information. Okay, so let me show you here. Another tool is a tool to see Cassandra's status. For example, here I see that your Cassandra is okay, U is up, and N is normal. I can see you have 20 gigs of information so far. Okay. Also, Cassandra doesn't recommend to have Cassandra's more than 500 gigs. So if we in our PRTG saw that you have Cassandra with 14 gigs, we will obviously reach you guys to, for example, put another node or another two nodes for increasing your capability. Okay. Also, we have Redis. Redis is a service that we use to maintain, synchronize, and the correct functionality of all our services. Okay, we have here the Nginx. The Nginx is the web server that we use. Everything on the web is uh, like managed. I can say managed by the Nginx. We have inConcert core and the proxies for each channel. Okay, so we here on inConcert can have something like this. Okay, so the Nginx is the main entries for every request that we are having. Okay, web agents and the clients go to Nginx, and the Nginx can uh, work with that request to know if it's, for example, Facebook, WhatsApp, a chat, a call, and so. Okay.
Okay.
We use then Cassandra to store everything on database configuration, users, historical conversation, and so. Okay. Another tool I wanted to put another tool here. We use it to know the status of Cassandra. Okay. So maybe if we want to troubleshoot some situation, one of the first thing our support team does is see if Cassandra is okay. Okay. Obviously, if Cassandra is down or it's having an issue, everything on the platform will be having an error because it won't have access to the information, for example, for the configuration of the campaigns, the users, and so. So obviously, if Cassandra has an error, the whole platform has an error. Okay.
Okay.
Also, obviously, if the Nginx has some type of trouble, or for example, someone change a rule on the subdomains or put a firewall uh, first of the domain, will be also having trouble because we're, for example, banning a request from coming in. Okay. For example, imagine that you didn't uh, enable port 80 for WhatsApp. We by default use the port 80. I know you know this, Muhammad. And for example, if I do this, I could be sending a message and that message won't get to inConcert because if I am blocking the request, obviously my server is not noticing that interaction. So we change later that to port 443, uh, and that will uh, that uh, solved the issue, right?
Yes, I remember the last time we were talking about it, and you already um, done it on secure port.
Exactly. Okay, so we have Redis. Redis is used for the communication between the services. Okay, uh, we separated Redis into services, Redis and Redis agent server, to balance uh, the load for the agents and for the other interactions. Okay, we also use Elasticsearch as one of our main tools. Elasticsearch is a search engine. Use it to perform the searches in different panels. Elasticsearch is a specific tool for performing searches with a great amount of precision and with a low and with low energy. I'll put it that way. It's very efficient, and that's why we use Elasticsearch. For example, we use Elasticsearch for the supervisor panel, for example, here, to search for a specific interaction, right? It allows us to search in in a great way. Okay, we also have Nginx as one of the main services of i6. Okay, and we have the proxies for each channel. For example, let me show you. I will be here putting services. For example, all of these proxies and services. Let's review. We have 15 minutes less, but let's review. Let's review some of them. Well, I am not getting too deep on the explanation of each service because I know for now it's not a requirement. It's good to know how it works, but maybe we can be more specific about this later. Okay. So, for example, the agent pooler is the service that it's checking all the agents connected. Okay. The Allegro proxy is a service that can connect to another instance of inConcert named Allegro, and that's what we used to have the integration, for example, with dialer and so. Okay, asterisk obviously is the asterisk that is running on the i6 server to manage all the telephony, the zip trunks, the WebRTC extensions, and so. Okay, the chat server manages all the chats. Okay, I have here, for example, the configuration server. The configuration server is the one that controls all the configuration. For example, when you save a campaign, the configuration triggers and, for example, set the node for the specific campaign. Remember, I was telling you, for example, if I have two nodes, we can have like a balancing between the nodes. The configuration server will do that, for example. Okay, the email proxy have all the configuration for the email channels. For example, our channel our mail channel works like a mail client. So the mail proxy is the one that is checking the inbox every time, that it's doing the pull for the emails, and it's sending the emails to the outbound accounts. Okay, we have the Facebook proxy, we have the Instagram proxy, we have the interaction router. The interaction router is maybe the most important service on the platform, because the interaction router is reached every time an interaction is coming to the to the server. No matter if it's a chat, if it's a call, or if it's a mail, all the interactions works with the interaction router. So every proxy channel works also with the interaction router. Okay, the interaction router is one of the services that we can see the log and troubleshoot any situation. Okay, this is one of the main services that we have on the platform. The Nginx also very important. Without the Nginx, we can't see the web interface. We won't get any requests to the platform, as we saw on the way that inConcert works. The Nginx is too much important. We have the summarizers. The summarizers are the services that takes all the data that it's that the agents are working and put it on Cassandra. So, for example, every live interaction is stored in Redis, and when it's finished, Redis sends that interaction to Cassandra, and the summarizer is working to do uh, that translation of information. Okay. Uh, Sometimes, if we see that a server is struggling with CPU use or RAM use, we can stop the summarizer process to uh, release uh, energy. I don't know how to say it, to release
Some resources
yeah,
in the server.
resources. To release resources, we can stop it and we can begin to uh, have the interaction only in Redis, and maybe on out of hours start it again to process all that information. Okay, so the summarizers can be stopped. The only issue you will have is you won't see the information on your reports, but it will allow us to free some resources to 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 process my live interactions. Okay. We have
Okay.
the Twitter proxy. We have the web chat. The web chat service is different than the chat server. Okay. This web chat proxy is the one that manage all the chats that are coming from the campaigns. Okay. uh, Web contact proxy is the one for the channel web contact. Web designer is our tool for uh, designers. We will be seeing that on module 1 of topic 3. I think is the last uh, is the last thing we're going to do. The web handler is also a very important service. The web handler is the web interface, is what holds all of this, right? And the WhatsApp proxy and the YouTube proxy for each channel. Okay? Questions?
Okay, sorry again. What is the difference between web chat and the chat services?
The web chat, the web chat is the service that we will control the campaigns, the channel per se. When we enable a campaign with chat, the web chat is the one that, for example, knows how or where to send that specific uh, chat to node 1 or node 2, and so, right? And
Okay.
the chat server, it's when the chat session starts.
Okay, so for routing the chat, it's the web service routes the chat to which node? Is
Yes.
that correct?
Yes, the web
Okay.
the web chat is the one that routes.
Chat.
That's why we have the web chat and the chat 1 and chat 2 domains, right? Because
Okay.
the web chat is the one that starts the requests and then passes that request to chat 1 or chat 2, that is where the chat server is.
Okay. So also, what is the difference between Allegro and Elastics? What is the role of each service?
This this is a service that work when we have integration with Allegro. Allegro is another platform of inConcert that hosts all the telephony. When we didn't have I have here, when we didn't have a telephony on i6 with WebRTC, all the telephony was in another server named Allegro. The Allegro proxy is the one that connects to that specific service. So in a WebRTC environment, we don't use this anymore. It's still installed because we use the same i6, but I think we're not going to use it anymore because we don't have an Allegro right now.
Okay, so it's Asterix, which is working right now on the WebRTC.
This is the asterisk that is working on this i6.
Thank you.
You were asking about other one?
No, thank you.
Okay.
So one more question, Laura,
Yes.
please, regarding the bot. Which service is managing the bot for transactions received to all those channels?
The interaction router.
So the interaction router responding to the bot according to the bot design.
Yes. Also, when we are implementing a bot, we can see all the trace of the bot here. That will be interesting, for example, for troubleshooting. Maybe if I put a comment on my bot for displaying a variable or something like that, I will see that on the interaction router.
Okay, great.
Okay, so we have 5 minutes. So let me know if you have more questions, and if you don't, we can wrap up for today and we can continue tomorrow. Tomorrow will be continuing with OCC architecture. Okay. Do you have any questions?
Thank you. From my side, I guess I have no questions for now. Anyone from the team?
Thank you, Laura. Thank you.
Yeah, if you have more questions for tomorrow, we can start tomorrow once again by asking. I would like you to also tell me how it's been so far. If you want something to be specified, or we can go deep with one specific subject, you can also please tell me. Okay.
Okay, thank you. I guess we have one more topic missing. While we were talking, I remembered it, how to monitor the servers and the services, and for the troubleshooting part, I guess we need
Yes.
to talk about this also.
Yes. That's in the next here, troubleshooting and logs. We'll see that tomorrow. I'm recording these sessions. I will be putting all these recordings in a Dropbox, in a folder in my Dropbox, and I will send you the link for you to download these sessions. Okay.
Okay, thank you. About the resources and the wiki, can we have access to this wiki? Is it public or still not public?
We have an access for our partners. It's the same user for everyone. I can say you that user.
Okay, please.
Maybe
Also about
maybe you will have some articles hidden. I don't know. Maybe that user cannot access to specific articles, but we can see.
Okay, so does it contain any user manual or any for the end user itself?
Yes, it does.
Okay, great.
Okay, I will send you that in as soon as the recording is on my Dropbox. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Laura, for your time.
Don't worry. See you tomorrow at the same time.
Okay, see you.
Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.